Hello? You're on. I do hear you. But we just went live, and the music and the music's playing, so I could not hear what you were saying.
Sorry about that. Nothing more.
Okay. Well, we're at the end here. Here we go. And hello everyone, I'm Dan Lutz, and I am here with Tank.
Tank.
Sorry. I had a new intro all the way lined up, because I was saying, Tank, I see you're there, but there's nowhere. Did you fall asleep? Wake up! Wake up!
No. I was here. I've been waiting on call for like an hour.
Well, I've been here. All you got to do is speak up.
No, I was. My mic wasn't working.
Oh, well.
So like my mic, you're hitting me with all types of things, right? So my mic, even on my phone wouldn't work. Even my speakerphone wouldn't work.
I get it. All right. Well, welcome. I'm glad you made it. I was going to say, and my co-host from yet to come in the future. Something like that. I was going to say something. Maybe he shows up. But anyway, I was set to go, and I was lining up kind of the stuff about. There's a thread that's in the Telegram group, the wwg1wga.love Telegram group that is all about Kim. Right, so I said, well, there's the stuff on the Speak Project site also about Kim. So I said, oh, maybe we'll just cover Kim because I couldn't get a hold of you.
Well, that's a pretty good topic to cover.
Yeah. So, but what? Hey, any word from Kim?
Let's see. What's the Kim back about? She responded to me about some things that were minor, but nothing groundbreaking. Nothing that helps us right now. Well, I can
Nothing we know about that's helping us.
No, I don't know. I got some reports about things going down, not from Kim though, but from other sources, and I just, I don't really understand what's going on right now. To be honest, I'm kind of like, all right, there's stuff happening, allegedly, and I'm just looking for results.
Yeah.
It's a little deja vu for me, actually. I remember feeling this way a little bit. Some, like right before I left the RV. Where I was frustrated, fed up, and fighting about it. Now, I don't feel that way now exactly, but I remember that feeling, the anxiety of it.
Yeah, well, definitely there's a lot of signs. What can you put your finger on now? But what is happening is we are getting more declassified documents coming out. Every day a little bit more is coming out. So it's not really hitting headlines, right? It's not, right? Because it's kind of like some really tiny crumbs, right? They are. But if you've been following along, they say, yeah, well, we knew that, right? Yeah, well, we knew that. Okay, yeah, we knew that. But this is the proof of that, right? So it's kind of like there's not really it's just kind of like yeah, okay, give us some meat here, right? Declassify the FISA. Let's get rolling, right? Because that's the big start, right? But they are these little tiny crumbets, crumbs of crumbs.
I mean, they were saying this before though, right? Like, what was the last declass the Mueller report, right? That was the last one. That was supposed to be the big. So how many convictions have come from that, right? A lot, I'm sure, right? all the false bullshit information that got put out there?
Yeah.
None.
Right.
Zero. It's
Right.
been how long? How long ago did they release it?
Yeah.
I don't even know. 6 months.
Yeah.
No.
So,
Now the big reveal. Now the big reveal. Hey, now the new declare. They is a carrot. It is the tomorrow game. This now, and don't be wrong. I know there's scathing information. The problem is if no one does anything about it, I don't even know who brings charges up. Shouldn't the DOJ be all over these people?
sure.
So I've heard forever, big arrests are coming. It's all going down, And I just put up or shut up. Show up. Where are all these guys? Like, honestly, and if you really thought about it, this same group that we're counting on right now, just to be clear, the same group we're counting on right now to come through and do arrests are the same ones who at some point were bodyguards for these people and probably, in all likelihood, escorted children in there for them to rape, molest, and possibly kill. Just so we're all on the same page of what we're putting our hope in. Because let's just be honest, right? Because it's the same guys, right? It's the same security. It's the same people. What's the difference? Because even if they didn't do it personally, they knew what was going on. And everybody in those organizations, higher up organizations, these agencies, they've all sat there. They're talking about the plan. How could you possibly have a plan that for long-term, it's a long-term plan that was designed out? Yes, we know that there's going to be a lot of kids raped and killed along the way. But we're just going to stay the course. Well, that's the worst plan ever.
Yeah.
Worst plan ever.
Yeah.
So if that's the plan, and there's all these this huge force, ethical, enforcement, white hats. They're all going to do something. Now that to me is tragic.
Yeah.
Because when it's done, they break through. You know what happens? We are subject to them. Here is what is not tragic to me. If it's one woman who's had to go up against everyone by herself, I could see how it'd be harder for her to get it done, especially, but in the time that she's, the 7 years. And it comes down to just waking up the people who had no idea this was going on. That, to me, although seeming just equally as impossible, at least at the end, the people have a place to stand.
Yeah.
At least the person you're standing next to, they didn't sign off on kids being raped, killed, molested as a way to fuel an addiction.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I hear exactly what you're saying, and I get it, right? I don't think that there is, like, in the employment box when they're filling out the application. Do you agree with raping and killing kids and eating them? And right, your check here, right? Then you move up the ladder. Yeah, it hasn't made it to that point, right? Within the system, right? So the people that are in the system that are bringing those kids there for whatever purpose, they are turning a blind eye. They're either in agreement, part of it, do it themselves, whatever their reasoning for allowing this to happen. It's the next 5 guys over that don't do that, right? That may have some suspicions, but who do they go to? Right? How do they make their stand to protect the kids, right? How do they do it? I see the dilemma, right? Because everyone is put into shackles of not doing anything, right? And, across the board, every level, it's kind of like they just kind of follow along with the program, knowing not what to do to stop it. It's like them against all of that power, right? They don't. They're close enough to see it, but they can't break loose. They feel like they can't do anything, so they try to help where they can along the edges. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's completely frustrating. We're on the outside of the government apparatus, the control system. Right? And we don't want it to. I mean, why would anyone put up with it? Why would anyone who knew this was going on put up with it. But what we know is that they don't say anything, right? And the ones that do stick up get pounded down, right? And they end up dead, right? They end up dead,
Yeah.
right? So how they're frustrated. So how do you route this out? How do you take care of this? And this is excruciating, right? Crumbs, micro crumbs of stuff that are coming out, right? So I mean, yeah, it's a big lead up. Okay, the 10 days of darkness and Good Friday and all. And did something happen? Yes, something did happen, right? But it's not that they arrested everybody, right? Which is the only thing that's really going to satisfy that craving to have justice. Start, right? No, instead they just made indictments.
I don't even care.
They just,
here I would say the indictments and more STEELE indictments 7,000. If you have I mean, an indictment is basically an accusation, right? We have enough proof that we can accuse you of this, and you have them sealed for years.
Yeah.
Gathering thousands of indictments every month.
Yeah, 168,000.
You work every day knowing that within our government or within whatever body it is, I mean the collective body of there's 168,000 people making decisions that are involved in some level, in some way of stealing, committing fraud, rape, murder, genocide, poisoning the people, a massive plan to, I mean, how, doesn't it seem like, when this started, you probably could have derailed a lot of the damage done by arresting people when you had the indictment? But I guess maybe you wouldn't have caught them. I don't know. Maybe. Well, I can be flexible. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I want immediate. Just about the only thing we can do is, and here's the words, trust the plan. Because the only way that they have one shot to make this happen, right? They got one shot to gather them all in their sights and have the public behind this, because the public will believe it. Right, but when people just get, they just wake up all of a sudden, and I get, that they were told that everyone is a pedophile, everyone is a Satanist that's in government. Yeah, they said, you guys are nuts, right? That's not happening. They're not underground cities filled with enslaved children and they're draining them of adrenochrome. That people wouldn't be able to absorb it, right? So this process, this excruciatingly slow process of waking them up, also means that yes, that kids are dying along the way, waiting, right? And we don't want it to happen, right? But I can just say trust the plan, because if not, then why are we not like the ones that are awake enough right now, running through Congress and picking these guys up and say, you're done. Law enforcement, no, you stand aside. You join us, but you're done. We're stopping this, right? Because it's insanity to let it continue. So how do we make this happen any other way right now? Is it just that there is a plan? Now, if it is a tomorrow game, then everyone better be ready to make the move anyway, because they're still coming for everyone. They want everyone implant. Lisa sent me just something about an implanted chip. The companies that are implanting their children their employees, right? No, I really, I know that it exists. It's been around for decades, right? Really.
Sure.
So it's been attempted many different ways but people in general reject the idea. Yeah, companies that are doing it are gonna basically have their employees are gonna go along with it because they're being offered some kind of bribe, right?
Sure.
Here, you can buy things in the commissary for free.
Wow,
something, to get people to go along with it, but then, it's, remember that technology is let's just say you can trick it, right? You don't have to have
Right.
you don't have to have the implant, right, to make something happen. Uh, I could I know this guy next to me, right? I could absorb his ID chip number and have my phone broadcast it and go up to that machine and my phone activate the pay me, right? So yeah, it's not it's that technology is not really there, right? So
Yeah.
the quantum dot technology again, this is something now. It's like you've got a tattoo, that's under your skin, right? It's at your it's doing something you other, right? And then they have the nanobots, so that this becomes much more integrated. But again, you have this is all hackable stuff. Anything electronic is hackable. So anytime you're going to go down that line, you're still going to have a large group of people that are going to be using that technology against it. And there's just going to the people that are part of the system are just going to be more, let's just say, enchained by it. Right? That's heavier chains, to deal with.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of, we always hear about these things, right? That are brewing, and it's not to say there's not things going on, but I'm like, I know I'm pretty clear on the assembly being the way to go, and but even with the assembly, it's it's really a process. It's really a process to get things up. So I know we can do it. It's not insurmountable, but sometimes it's amazing to me that it's such a small group of people that so many in positions of power, and also right now just looking at how it's, are we going to open back up? Are we are we there?
Well,
It feels.
yeah, I see that the governor of was it Georgia? Was it? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Georgia.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he said it's okay. We're opening up, right? And so now he's already criticized by a couple of the Democrat mayors that are there. It's like this is really going to be showing up as like two sides, like, and so are these people think that they're going to survive on identity politics the next round, right? Because they've been identified.
Good point.
They've been identified. Yeah. They're identifying themselves right now. So they who live by the sword are going to die by the sword of identity politics, because they've been identified as the people that want to enslave the humanity, the people that want to basically not let you go back to work, not let you go out fishing, not let you grow your own food. So they've been identified by their own actions, and people are noticing. So they're going to die by identity politics. So that is a brilliance of how this is all coming about, right? There is a reset happening, right, of the world, right? Yeah. And this is the dawning of the new era. So what is going to come of it? Is it mean that we're all on asset-based backed currency, next week? No, right? But we can see that Trump is loading up the credit card. All right, he's going to put another 10 trillion on it, right? Before
where?
Listen, it's just the funny money, right? It's the super nodes. It's what's in the system. There is no backing for it, but it is the system, and you can get things to move, right? You can have pay for products. You can move products. You can buy companies, and you can change ownership of which is what part of this is doing, right? And to remove the power structure of these 150 corporations that rule the planet, right? And their board of directors that have interlocking board of directors that Karen Hudis pointed out in so many broadcasts of hers that she talks about the network of global control, It was shown by was a study out of Switzerland or something like that. I forget where it was, but these companies are going to be bought up by the Treasury, which could never happen, right? But it is. It's happening. So they're going to buy up all the corporations. So all of this stuff is in transition right now. So they will lose control because the people will be moved into those positions. So Trump is going to also adjourn Congress, and he's going to put all his own people in. Right? They're not coming back. Right? He's going to put his people in. He says Nancy Pelosi's not coming back. Well, first he's going to adjourn Congress so he can rejourn it. Right? So that's another part of this. I think is I don't know. I'm not 100% about this, but I think because he can't call them back if they haven't left. Right?
Technically, Congress hasn't been in session since like 19. I don't even know. Like a long time ago.
Okay, all right, but still.
No, I'm just saying. So technically, he could, right? I mean.
Well, I without getting into the what is really the situation, what the apparent situation is to the world is that the Congress is now doing this these motions every day to keep it open, so they can be on vacation and not be at work, right? This scam, as Trump called it, right? So I think in order to bring them back to vote on this, right? Because Nancy, she says she's not coming back till May 4th. Maybe she'll extend that too, because she's going to delay the impeachment papers, right? Maybe she'll delay coming back because she's has more ice cream in her freezer. But Trump could literally adjourn Congress, do all his recess appointments, including Judy Shelton for the Federal Reserve, right? Who wants to restructure the whole thing into gold, right? So he could do this, right? And then call them all back, and they'd have to come. So, but I think he'd have to basically adjourn Congress first, and so which he's already talked about. So I wouldn't be surprised it doesn't happen tomorrow. Right? Because he said, listen, I've been telling him to come back. She's still eating ice cream. All right, so I'm sorry, you got to come back, but I got to adjourn Congress first. And by the way, I'm going to basically put all my people in that you've delayed for 3.5 years.
Well, so today, I mean, finally they got to deal with the. I mean, I don't know what it is. The small business emergency funds, right? Like Matt Gaetz came out today and talked about it.
I don't know. I'm kind of probably missed that. I know that I was starting to watch some of his stuff, but I got distracted into some other things. So.
I mean, he outright. I'll tell you, it was pretty powerful. He was outside the White House today, and he was like, great American revival is ahead of us. And he said thousands of people died because Nancy Pelosi wouldn't be reasonable. And I was like, that's a pretty powerful statement,
Yeah.
I mean, and accurate too. I mean, like she clearly does not care.
She doesn't care, right? Oh, I did see Jimmy Dore pulling up her commercial, right? Commercial's wrong. Wrong. It's a commercial for the ice cream. That's what I meant. So people were saying that she's kind of selling ice cream, right? And she probably has stock in that company, and that's why she's doing it. She's using it as an infomercial. But
so I don't know. I'm looking at all these different things, and I feel like we're in a perpetual state of looking to spark a real change, right, and really get people engaged. And I really feel like you're on the cusp of triumph or tragedy right now. And I don't know if it's a timeline thing, where we can just we basically get a choice on what timeline we're going to be on.
Well, I don't think that there's another timeline that's just branching us off at this point. I think we're so far down this timeline, it's just firming up. You know,
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I did, refresh myself on some of this quantum theory stuff that I was thinking about. It's like, it is basically, it really talks about what it is to be in the moment, and that our future actions affect the moment right now. So whatever we did in the future, past tense, in the future tense. I don't know how to do that, but whatever we did,
the history of the future. Yeah.
So whatever we're about to do sometime in the future affects this moment, and also what happened in the past affects this moment. So they both converge, are continually converging in the moment, right? So
that's a great. Yeah, you're right. So I haven't thought about that in a while.
Right. So when we're doing our daily show, right, with an intention, right, of making the future happen towards the timeline. Sorry about that. So our future of making the timeline for abundance for the world, right, to bring about the money coming from the trust to help fuel this new future of abundance, right? We have that intention for the moment, right? We set it, and we're continually taking these steps. Every broadcast, everything that we do outside of the broadcast that are all everything related, it keeps, because it's also happening in the future, right? So we're still doing this show in the future, affecting this moment, as we did 410 episodes ago, right? Affect this moment. So, we're on this timeline, right? We're committed to a future of abundance, and we're seeing the other future diminish, right? And as if I can recall, different places I've heard this, that the timelines that were seen in the future were the positive outcome is where we were headed. It's the diversion by these bad actors, right, that they've been trying to do. Say, no, we don't want that good future for all of humanity, right? We gotta steer it this way, right? And they've put all this effort, 9/11, and all the rest of this stuff to really try and redirect the energy to another path. But though it started to maybe swell out towards another way, it's now recoiled back, and that energy that they put into that negativity is coming back in a positive way. We're still headed in our positive future. We're still making our steps.
I very much agree with that. Because it has to be. I think what it is that from time to time I just start to think like, I look for real action that is definitive from whatever alleged, whether it's a universal council or the I don't know, the government, somebody, or God, even. I look for things that are on our side, constantly, and I'm sometimes you just get so wrapped up in all the things that they have plotted against us.
Yeah.
They're so extensive. I mean, they're so overwhelming, and at times I'm just like, oh, gosh,
Well, let me throw you a lifeline.
Please, help me out.
Okay. So I thought about this a week ago or so, and I said, I wonder if all of these raids on the deep underground bases, on the DUMBs, right, and the underworld activity, They all took place. I mean, I traced the earthquakes to the maps that they had of the underground facilities from other sources, right? So, I mean, it's too much of a coincidence, right? No, they were in sync. There is something underground in those facilities. So, what if they went in to those facilities, found the children, and are giving them care where they found them? Because they can't bring them up yet, right?
Right, there's not another facility that can really, handle it.
Right, but the hospitals are being prepared up here. Trump is, engaging, under the Defense Production Act, whatever it was. I keep forgetting the name of that power that he's enacted, but Defense Production.
Yeah, Defense Production Act. Yeah, something like that.
So maybe he's engaging that to get everything in place so that so when the things are revealed of how evil these people have been to the people, and he said, "Where's the children?" Well, we're bringing them up now, and we're going to need a lot of help for these children, right? This will be a major effort. I think that they've been that they're being cared for, at this point. This is what I'm thinking. That makes more sense at this point than a stream of children being brought up in the midst of the rest of this stuff that's going down, which is the coronavirus and all of the stuff that's being portrayed, because they're still showing these governors for who they are. They're showing these mayors for who they are. They're waking up the people for the vote, right? And the vote is coming. I mean, it's not all that far off at this point. Is it 6 months from now? What is it? What is this?
I don't even know. What are you? Not too far. No, 6 months, 6.5 months.
Yeah, 7 months. 7 months. Yeah, okay, somewhere 6-7 months from now, we're going to elect new people, right? And maybe this is what it takes, is this next election cycle before this is all gonna. We're gonna see the people being brought up. We're gonna see Obama, being brought up at this point, and all the rest of them, and charges levied. And I think that is close. I think that is now, because once the grand jury turns over the indictments, right? Then the Justice Department has to act, right? How long does that take? It's a government. It takes some time. It doesn't happen that moment. It takes them weeks to do something, months sometimes, but not more than that. Not more than that. So, and they wouldn't have released it if they weren't ready to proceed. And it happened on Good Friday, right? And then they've been declassing every day a little more, right? But it's also against the backdrop of the coronavirus, right? And Trump waking up the people. Look at what he's doing is to wake up people about what's going on. Then what we're also seeing, and this is an important piece. We're talking about the RFID chip being implanted and that. So that's nothing compared to what this patent that Bill Gates has on basically giving you your identity and cryptocurrency based upon your actions. It's crazy. Do you know about that? Hello? Hello? You still there? Hello? Well, I'll go ahead and show this. No. Why is that not showing? I might have to. do it this way. So this is a patent. Microsoft patents new cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Microsoft has patented a cryptocurrency mining system that leverages human activities, including brain waves and body heat, when performing online tasks such as search engines, chatbots, reading ads. A user can solve a compilation difficulty problem unconsciously, right? The patent reads. So, Microsoft Technology licensing arm of Microsoft Corp has been granted an international patent for a cryptocurrency system using body activity data. The patent was published by the World Intellectual Property Organization on March 26th. The application was filed on June 20th last year. Human body activity associated with the task providing a user may be used as a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. The patent reads, adding as an example, a brainwave or body heat emitting from the user when the user performs the task provided by the information or service provider, such as viewing advertisement or using certain internet services, can be used in a mining process. Well, I wonder, what do people get for that? Or are they just enslaved? Just curious. Listen, I'm not. I see rewarding people in the Kringle Gold system that I've developed, right, is for their activities, right? They get points which convert into cryptocurrency, right? So this system is it's rewarding them for what they're doing now, and I'm just wondering what this is doing. Who's actually making this, right? This is your brain waves are producing money for who? So anyway, this is a very interesting, this technology, and it does, combined with what Microsoft or Bill Gates has done with the quantum dot, and being able to track people. I think it's a scary combination, quite frankly. Oh, it looks like Tank has dropped off. Well, let's say that I actually have not read through the entire article yet, and I just read the first bit of it before. I got some other things I'm working on where I can, get into following down this one and see exactly what they want to do. But I didn't get good feelings because this is not a good company, right? They don't have a good track record in working with within let's say the guidelines of what you would think is good for people, right? So on that basis, I'm very wary. I've seen Microsoft, from a long time, say and do things that are never ever for the benefit of the customers, right? It's always been that. I've could go through my whole adult life, and I say that there's only been one company that stood out among all as being an evil company, and I've said so all along the way, and that would be Microsoft and Bill Gates, basically. So I've seen them do a lot of horrible things. Everything they did was stolen technology, including DOS from the very beginning. That was stolen technology. The company that originally did it, they even had lawsuits that were going through, and the whole lawsuit disappeared along the way. They had to refile, like ungodly amount of time already put into this suit, and it just disappeared during the Clinton administration. The whole thing. They had to refile. Never heard of, right? Well, how's that just the whole thing just disappear because it would have basically destroyed Microsoft. So the system supported Microsoft. They're not a normal company. Never have been from the very beginning. You may see this story that was put out there. Was it I forgot, the Kings of Silicon Valley or something like that. I forget what it was. But they showed Bill Gates versus Steve Jobs. That's a fiction. It's a fiction. The parts of it are true. But I mean, it was painting a story. There was a lot more that was going on at that time. A whole other side of this that was, not really seen even in the computer age of the people that were involved, unless you were really on the other side. There was another computer platform that came about that was also went to Xerox ahead of Jobs. And saw what was going on there and was building upon that technology, right? And that gentleman's name was Jay Miner, and he started a new computer called Amiga. Much more advanced than Apple came out with, much more advanced than Microsoft, right? Microsoft came out with a Mac, right? 2 colors, a mouse, and a little screen like this. The month before the Macintosh came out, another computer platform came out, Amiga. 4,096 colors, full screen animation, stereo sound. Preemptive multitasking environment, meaning it can do more than one thing at a time. To this day, these computers, when I'm speaking to you, they don't do things in a preemptive multitasking environment. They have a shared plan of compute CPU time. Oh, we'll give you this much of a share, and we'll give you that much of a share, and give you that much of a share. And it's not whichever one should take precedence, right? And it was this is a centralized system compared to the decentralized architecture of the Amiga. So much more advanced, even to what computers are today. Really. And truly. Even to this day. But with as fast as the systems are right now, the old 25 megahertz system of Amiga could still run rings around the current fastest systems here. Not on pure brute force calculations, no, but in the using of the system. I can't say there's anything that I couldn't do with the last generation of system that I was involved with. I was actually buying the core technology of this and launching a new system, a new Amiga system with trying to revamp it and get it started again. At the time when this went out, it was Commodore that ended up owning Amiga. It was so funny. It was David Wilcox always discusses Pete Peterson as his main intel source for a lot of things. And I knew Pete, and Pete and I had a very strong connection through the Amiga. And Pete would bring his computer into my service center for it to get repaired, right, or upgraded or whatever. And it's a beautiful way that he organized his system. I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, it's the only thing similar to it was mine, and how I organized data on my computers and things like that. His was even more organized than mine. I was in awe of it. But he had told me that the owners of Amiga, or Commodore, who owned Amiga, were the dead relatives of Richard Nixon, and he controlled it through Bahamas trusts. And this all ended up being true, after Pete had told me this. But going back and talking about the technology of what was available back then, and what's been kept away from the population, and what we've been saddled with. We were saddled with Windows. It was put on us as as a way to enslave us, to keep us down, to stop us from progressing. It's a horrible, horrible operating system. It's always filled with viruses. Why is that? You know, that's why I don't use them. You waste so much of your life because you get a virus. How many times did you, if you use a Windows user, do you lose in a year because you have to deal with viruses? So this goes. So there's so much other technology that's been kept away from us. You know, the Amiga computer never made it into the mainstream. It always was sidelined as the gaming system, right? But it started all of the things that we now take advantage of, you know, dealing with, say, video. It was the first desktop video environment. Right at the very beginning, the same year that this came out with the Macintosh, you could do overlay graphics on video. So much further advanced. It's ridiculous. I mean, you could go back to the VHS beta, you know, tape system. Like there aren't no more video tape recorders anymore. Everything's digital on hard drives and stuff. But before you had tapes, and which was the better one, Betamax or VHS? Well, Betamax, so much better quality, beautiful. But everyone went to VHS, lower quality, but you could stick more on a tape. So everyone went the lower version, right? The less nicer version. So anyway, Betamax made it into post production and did all the stuff so everyone would shoot in beta. Right, and then that would be the higher quality stuff, and they do all their editing, and then they would move it onto VHS. You know. Anyway, I guess we're reminiscing a little bit here, but I would just say the battling for good technology and what you can do for good things is there. So when I see Microsoft, you know, coming out with a patent that basically uses your activity as a way of mining crypto, who's getting the crypto? You or them? Or is it 50-50? Or you get 10%? Right? Who's in charge? That's the deal. Technology can be used for good, and it can be used for evil. And I would say if it's coming from Microsoft, it's going to be evil. Because I've seen it my whole life. They're not going to change who they are and how they do things. So, and well, if you'd like to help me with using technology for good, join me in Kringle Gold. And get some gold grain coins, because that's what we're building. We're building a way in which people can actually own what they do, have the benefit of it. They have the benefit of it, not me. Anyway, it's a great system. It's all laid out on kringlegold.com. You can go take a look at it. And let's use technology for good. I guess that's good for today. I'd see Tank is not coming back. We've covered quite a lot anyway. I appreciate everyone for your time and everything that you've helped us build and building this new reality step by step. We're manifesting it. Let's help expand that by sharing this video. Share the video. Go ahead and subscribe. Give some thumbs up. Right? Like it. Give some good positive comments, because all of this helps spread what we're doing. And until tomorrow, we'll talk to you then.